It's got live on there.
Hello!
Look at the liveness.
Hello, and welcome to this, the 202nd Final Boss Fight Emergency Escape podcast. My name is John Gerdeman, and I'm joined by a red panda.
Sup, homeboys.
And someone wearing a hat that looks like it was made from a red panda.
Hello.
Cheers and all that.
Why wasn't I told this was going to be the tankard cast?
Well, I don't have a tankard, so I can't join in.
I just have this Brill cream that's...
Well, you can drink that if you want.
Or I just happen to have within reach the Master Chief on cryostasis, which I keep around.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink it though.
Yeah. I don't think you'd be too happy about that.
Anyway, we are here to discuss the video game news of the last week and also tell you about the games that we three have been playing. Sean has been playing some of the actual game of Civilization Beyond Earth.
Indeed I have.
Dan has been playing a multitude of games, including Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Football Manager.
D4 as well. She's very good.
And D-D-D-D-D. D-D-D-D.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, aka Call of Duty Ghost Recon Advanced Crisis School.
It's a bit of a long name. Let's shrink that down.
Ghost Recon Advanced Crisis Field.
Or you could just call it Cador.
Yeah, well, it's like we have Graw, don't we, for Ghost Recon? But that is
Yeah.
quite enjoyable.
Or that'd be Grawful.
Drawful.
And I've been playing Max and the Curse of Brotherhood, which is a really, really good game.
Good.
But first, the news.
Yes.
And we start this week with reports that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Ghost Recon... I forgot the full name that Dan said a minute ago.
Titanfall in there as well.
Yeah. It had some issues when it came out. I don't know if you were struck by them, Dan, or not. But on both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the pre-download didn't work.
We didn't pre-download because we received the console on the launch day. So.
Players on the PlayStation 4 who had pre-downloaded the game, they'd been told basically delete the pre-download and re-download it.
Which defeats the point of the pre-download, really.
And a similar situation occurred with the Xbox One edition. That basically was resolved similarly by telling everybody to delete it and re-download it, which was a bit of an issue because it's a 39 gig download.
Hey guys, we heard that you like downloading games.
So why don't you delete that pre-download and download the download again?
Indeed. Ace. Bang on.
Not sure if the problems on the PlayStation 4 could have been caused by the recent 2.0 system update that seemed to cause some issues in other games as well. Most specifically, it delayed the PlayStation 4 version of the Evolve Alpha.
Yeah, I heard that was 3 or 4 days late, wasn't it?
It was 3 or 4 days late, and it was extended a bit as well because it was late to begin.
Dann.
Destiny.
Yes.
Destiny is welcoming Guardians to enter the dark below on December the 9th. But for those who aren't buying the expansion, you will be receiving some things for free. In addition to the new weapons and armor, Bungie have noted that they will add new daily bounties.
New daily bounties.
I was waiting for those.
New daily bounties and 5 additional bounty slots.
Good, because the amount of bounties you want to take on, you can't take them.
They've also reiterated that they are working to make all of the hoops that players have jumped through for their exotic gear and weapons mean something. They haven't actually said what their plans are at the moment. Just that they have some.
I thought that it meant something anyway. It was loot, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Yay. That's not how I'm going to pronounce them. EA has announced in a news post that the Dragon Age Inquisition trial will debut on the 13th of November, which is 5 days ahead of the game's North American launch. This is for people subscribing to the Xbox One exclusive EA Access.
Okay.
So for the people in the UK, it means that it'll be out on the 16th, which would be 5 days ahead of the UK release date. The trial will let you play the game for 6 hours and will allow you to create your hero, form your Inquisition, and take your first steps into Thedas. Thedas. You will even be able to try out the game's multiplayer, and your progress will continue into the full game.
Cool.
It isn't clear if this is a cumulative 6 hours or 6 hours per profile. And we are waiting to hear on exact confirmation of when the UK trial will begin, whether it will be on the same day, giving us a little bit extra time, or whether it'll be, as I said, on the 16th. But we shall see.
We might see.
You never know. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Meanwhile, Hi-Res Studios is going to be bringing Smite to closed beta on the Xbox One on early 2015, with the release in the first half of the year. Who is this?
Dunno.
Harris. Todd Harris. Co-founder of the company, Todd Harris, said, "At this point, we are excited. We have registered player count of over 5 million. And also, we're continuing to expand the game. We're working really hard on the console version of Smite. In the beginning of the year, we are going to start closed beta for the Xbox One version, and we hope to release that in the first half of next year."
Good. Although, not really.
Did Dan fall off the sofa?
I think
Has he gone for more tankard?
he needs more tankard, man. He needs more tankard.
The upcoming Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 will feature a first-person mode.
They will. It does look rather awesome.
IGN had the scoop, and they showed off a trailer which features shooting, driving, flying, completely from the first-person perspective. Animation director Rob Nelson said, "It's a very intense, in-your-face experience, literally. Obviously, we felt like one of the most compelling things you could do to make an experience people have had before feel different was change the viewpoint. We've always been interested in it, and it's never really been an option for us. I don't think we could have put it in the last-gen version because we were too busy actually making the game.
Funny
We were
that.
too busy making the third-person controls and the mission." So basically what they've said is that there's a lot of new animations, there's a lot of new controls that are focused on the first-person perspective. I mean, there's going to be things like a button that allows you to just throw grenades.
Rather than having to select a grenade and...
Rather than, in that traditional sort of first-person shooter style where you fire, lob grenade.
Yeah. Which would be good.
It'll be interesting, and there's going to be complete control over setting it up so that you can play through the game entirely in first person, or you can set it so that when you're in a mission, you go into the first-person perspective, but then when you're just wandering around aimlessly, you're in third person. When you're driving, it's from first person, but when you're on feet, it's in third person, or vice versa. So you're going to have complete control over automatically when it will shift,
Which is awesome.
which is pretty cool. And it just gives another reason for people to play the game again.
I'm not really sold on the first person thing.
I think it'd be interesting.
I know you are, it's because you don't like playing third person games.
Pools!
Pools!
Pools have returned to The Sims 4.
Oh, swimming pools.
Swimming pools.
Yes. So, already thousands upon thousands of Sims have been drowned.
People didn't really use them for anything other than drowning Sims.
Pretty much.
Or making moats. Or,
That too.
you know, or filling up a space because they got too big a lot and ran out of ideas for what to put into the house.
Never really had that. In fact, I usually had too big a house and didn't have enough room for a pool.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's where I primarily played vanilla versions of the game, and so you had like, 2 TVs, 2 computers, 17 sofas. You know, and it's like
4,500 toilets.
they've got 6 lounges.
Apparently, pools can be built on any floor of your house.
So you can have them on the roof.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I would hope it costs more to put them in higher up.
You can also use pre-fashioned pool shapes, such as triangle, square, diagonal, or octagon.
Oh yeah, those.
Or you can use the pool tool to draw your own pool.
That's not going to be abused at all.
You could draw it in the shape of a $sign.
Yes, I'm sure that's the only thing that's being drawn.
Or a gravestone.
You can decorate your pool with lights. You can install a ladder. You can customize the wall and floor texture to your liking. Then
You can remove the ladder.
You can plop down some decals and even add windows for that aquarium-esque experience.
So you can watch your Sims drown from downstairs.
Hooray!
Sims can enjoy the comfort of your newly built pool, whether they are socializing as they dangle their digits in the water, splashing the kids, or putting themselves out after being set on fire by an angry ghost who died in a tragic poolside grilling accident.
Can they just climb out? Or do they have to use a ladder?
I don't know.
I mean, I'd have thought at some point they'd have put them being able to climb out of,
Maybe.
like they can climb through windows. But either way, yeah. Diving boards?
Not mentioned in the patch notes.
Shame.
They do mention that beware of the hungry and fatigued. A moment too long in the pool has been known to cause a lack of living. The Reaper will gladly accept your pleas, though he may not always oblige them.
I hope the Grim Reaper shows up in swimming trunks if they've drowned.
And a snorkel.
He doesn't need a snorkel, Sean. He's timeless.
But it's for comic effect, damn it.
Very true.
They have also fixed a number of crash issues, including... sometimes the game crashes in a completely logical fashion, and sometimes ...
Very funny. I see what they did there.
We fixed an issue that would cause household members to delete themselves, but only if a household of more than one began their existence in the Potter Splay lot. One member of the household then travelled to visit Peak Hearth or Rindle Rose household, then returned home to find their other household members have gone missing.
It's the ghost!
Ghost!
On a similar note, there was a counter and an oven in Yuma Heights that could cause a crash, but that's now been fixed.
I'll just put this plate of food on the counter. Oh God!
Is the swimming pools DLC all free?
It's just a patch to the game, yeah. It's completely free.
They still show no indication of toddlers though.
Not as of yet.
Not yet, but if people continue kicking up a stink, they'll no doubt add them.
The thing is, they've probably simply done a case study, and a lot of people said, "Well, I felt like a bit of a failure because I had so many of the children, and none of them learned to walk in time. And then when they hit that age, they'd already learned to walk because the game makes them know how to walk. Because you can't go into the child stage without knowing how to walk. But the fact that I hadn't done it means I had failed as a parent, and so I felt really guilty and stopped playing Sims."
And so I had to kill the entire family
in the swimming pool.
in the swimming pool.
And they were like, right, well, that's a bad idea, and that's a bad idea. Swimming pool and toddlers are out.
Dawngate.
Yes.
Dawngate was EA's foray into the free-to-play MOBA market, and it's being closed.
Yeah.
It's been closed down after 6 months in open beta.
Closing the gate. You missed the pun.
We are disappointed, John.
They're closing the Dawngate.
Very good.
Those who've spent money in the open beta will be offered a refund.
Oh.
Good.
Quite charitable.
Matt Bloom.
What money EA made on that?
I'm presuming it wasn't much, considering they're closing it down. But
Matt Broomberg, the EA Group General Manager who was overseeing the game, announced that EA will stop development of the game. He said, "Whenever we begin a game project, we do so with great hopes and expectations. In this case, we chose to enter a new genre for EA in MOBA, one that we knew was going to be extremely competitive."
We lost. Horribly. Horribly, horribly.
They're not pleased with the progress that they've seen in the game. This isn't the outcome we wanted, but beta testing is about learning and improving, and ultimately about making difficult decisions about how to proceed.
Or not.
Or not. If you've spent any money in the beta, you're probably already too late to get a full refund, but you are entitled to it as long as it's processed in the next 10 days from when this news story went out last week. So you've got until Friday.
So, yeah.
Get on that. Actually, because we're live, you're actually hearing this a lot sooner than you normally would.
Yeah, you are. So get on that.
Which would normally be Friday.
It will continue to operate for the next 90 months. Days. Damn it.
Years. What?
90 years. The Dawngate is slowly creeping.
Slowly close.
It's very rusty.
It's going to stay open for the next 90 days or about 3 months. They've made no formal announcements about the staffing of the people working on the game, so we don't know what they're doing.
I would hope that they're simply being repurposed.
With any luck.
And by that, I mean the nice repurposed, like they've got other jobs under the same...
Rather than, come here, I need a footstool.
As opposed to repurposed as in, yeah.
You shall be my office chair, and you my bookshelf.
You will be my new kitchen knife holder.
Destiny again. CEO of Activision Eric Hirschberg has said work has also begun on future expansion packs as well as our next full game release. We're very pleased with the launch and continuing engagement. Destiny 2, it's on the way.
There were going to be 3 games, weren't there?
Yep. People are apparently surprised by the fact that Destiny 2 is already being developed.
It's like they were planning it from the start.
It's going to take a decade, and it's taken, what, 3.5 years to do the first one?
Yep.
So, there you go. And the first game in things like this, shorter, normally, I guess. So, the second one will be bigger.
I mean, it can't be much
Don't be
smaller.
shorter.
Yeah.
They would need to expand the universe. So
Well,
I mean, there's lots of
came from the
hanging
moon.
questions.
Strange
Yeah.
alien things. Go take out one. Oh, you took out one of them. Oh, go to the. Oh, kill 3 things. Oh, that's it. End of the game.
November.
it's a month.
November is an indie-focused month on the PlayStation Plus with Luftraser's The Binding of Isaac and SteamWorld Dig leading the free games for PlayStation Plus subscribers,
Games.
Yeah.
which I believe we already discussed, the PlayStation Plus for November. So I'm going to skip ahead to December.
Yes.
The list of free games on the PlayStation 4 in December will consist of NetherRealm Studios' Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, and Switchblade Monkeys Entertainment's Secret Ponchos.
John, Switchblade monkeys are appearing from the mirror behind you now.
Oh god, I don't actually have a mirror back there.
Yeah.
Ponchos looks astounding. I really
Uh,
it looks really.
Meanwhile, January next year will see Facepalm Games' The Swapper and Sucker Punch Productions' infamous First Light.
Interesting.
Infamous First Light, yeah. The Swapper's actually quite good. I was going to steer clear of it, and I think I bought it by mistake, as you do. And really enjoyed what I played with it. Need to go back and finish it.
Looks pretty good.
It is. It's really enjoyable. It's along the lines of, what was it you were playing? Oh, nah, Another World. That's it. And Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, like I said, I know of the game. I know all about it, but it's like made out of. It looks like it's made out of like stuff like tin cans and bits.
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure that's what was the big selling point of it. It's like it's made to look like it's just been made out of little bits and bobs. Unless I'm thinking of a different game, there's another game like that is made like that.
There is another game like that, but either way, I think I know what one you're talking about, and I'm sure that's great too.
I can't do fingers, so I'm just going to have to.
Just like wiggle your eyebrows or something.
I can't wiggle my eyebrows. I'm all eyebrows.
Twitch your ears.
Yeah.
There's a new Luigi's Mansion game in the works.
Mario!
And it's coming to Japanese arcades.
Mario!
Thanks to Capcom.
Mario!
Dubbed Luigi's Mansion Arcade, it appears to be a light gun-like arcade experience based on the Nintendo 3DS sequel Mario Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Cool.
The game appeared to be a sit-down theater-style arcade cabinet during a location test over the Halloween weekend, although it's not been officially listed on Capcom Japan's arcade website.
Well, they could just be slow on that. Maybe?
Nintendo has previously collaborated with Capcom's arcade division to bring new Super Mario Bros. Wii to the arcade in the form of a medal-based redemption game.
Oh,
And
what?
work a medal-based redemption game.
As in you're redeeming medals.
I'm not sure.
Huh.
Yes. Meanwhile, they have also worked with Sega and Namco to bring F-Zero and Mario Kart to the arcades.
Shh. Yes.
And that was the end of that news story. 6 new DLC cars have arrived in Forza Horizon 2.
What are they, John? What are they?
The highlight of the Falcon car pack is the 2014 Alfa Romeo 4C.
I don't know what that means.
It's the first mass-produced Alfa Romeo to be sold in the United States since 1995.
Wow.
This is just like Top Gear. For something a bit more German, the Falcon car pack also includes the 2014 BMW M4 Coupe, a twin-turbo beast that is just as home at the racetrack as it is being driven to the marina by a stockbroker named Chet.
Is it only allowed to be driven by guys called Chet?
Yep.
All right.
Stock market.
Rounding out the pack is the 2014 Chevrolet SS, the 1988 Lamborghini Jalapa, and the 1969 Toyota.
I think I got bitten by a jalapa once.
Toyota 2000 GT, a car as rare as it is expensive.
Unlike all those other really dirt cheap cars. You know, the ones you can get for a $5, you know, them.
Ultimately, I should think rareness and
Expensiveness.
kind of go hand in hand anyway.
However, if
£100 billion, but everyone's got one, so...
So I'm not sure why they're that expensive.
if you'd rather not spend any money on your DLC cars, they have released a free car, the 1990 Subaru Legacy RS.
Ooh.
The
Subaru. Did you hear that, Dan? A Subaru RS. Did you hear that?
Wow. I didn't hear that. Thank you for reiterating that.
Yes.
Deadline.
It is a car, don't you know?
I was those things. That's a car. Yeah, well, yes, that's RS, isn't it? Isn't it, dear?
Isn't it, dear?
Deadline, Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Subaru's a pizza topping, but it's probably something to do with cars as well.
Yeah.
Deadline, Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Yes.
It's the place where they dug up all those game cartridges.
Yes.
The Atari game cartridges. They're being sold on eBay, as I believe we've previously mentioned. Half of them are being sold on eBay.
The other half are going elsewhere.
About 100 cartridges, some still in the box, are up for auctions with starting bids of $50.
But surely they'll lose about 30% of that simply from eBay shipping and handling. On video games, it's really expensive, the list prices.
Boxed copies of ET are commanding the highest bids, upward of $405.
Wasn't it a notoriously bad game?
Yep, it's a terrible game.
Garbage. Utter garbage.
People don't want to
hence why there are so
play
many
these
in boxes.
in a landfill.
Well, weren't there? There were other things dumped.
Yes,
but the majority were ET.
Yeah.
The exhumed Atari cartridges will come with a numbered certificate of authenticity from the city of Alamogordo, a city
We pulled this out of the ground. Congratulations.
a city property ID tag, and a narrative with photos of the 1983 burial and the 2014 excavation, proving the legend to be true.
A whole bunch of people standing around going, "Thank God that's gone, and no one will ever find it to dig them up. We have saved humanity this day."
And then there's the other photo of the people who've dug it up, all smiling and happy while they try and hide the people whose faces melted as they excavated them.
sprayed acid into them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that, yes, the scarabs and the giant,
Exactly.
the flamethrowers. Yeah, that's it.
The cartridges are being sold as is and aren't guaranteed to
Larry
work.
Herb has been through today.
So, yeah, they're selling them, they're not guaranteeing them to work.
Yes, we're untying a piece of history here. It's been in the ground for 30-odd years.
Rocks have been in the ground for 30 odd years, and they're probably more interesting to play with.
They are. You can put googly eyes on them and everything.
Yeah, you
You
can.
could put googly eyes on these too.
Yeah, but they still wouldn't work, would they, John?
Well, you tried plugging a rock into an Atari 2600, you're not going to get much out of it.
You don't plug rocks into an Atari 2600, John. You mainly use them to smash people's heads in, which they do very well. With or without the googly eyes.
ET game.
Dovetail Games
Yes?
has announced it's going to release a new game called Dovetail Games Fishing.
Oh, boy.
I saw the video for this. There was a looping video.
There probably is a looping video. I think I have the looping video here.
There is a looping video. We can confirm there is a looping video.
I think it's a looping. There's definitely a video.
No, it starts with like generic background and like a new generation or a new type way to fish or something. Zooms out through a house across some water. There's a guy struggling fishing, and then it zooms past him into a house, and there's a guy sitting down getting ready to play fishing on the screen, and then it looks at the screen, and the screen is exactly the same as it started.
You can pick up the work in progress version now on Steam Early Access, priced at $4.99.
There's some pretty high definition looking fish in it.
And instead of the focusing on actually capturing aquatic animals, it devotes its mode to teaching you how to cast and reel.
When I was growing up,
When I was a lad.
there was this game that we had on our Windows. It must be Windows 95. Yeah. You got a whole bunch of games through. Anyway, you remember there was the game where you were running skiing down free ski or ski free?
Yeah, free ski, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Or something like that.
On one disc with that, we also got a fishing game, and you picked where you went out fishing. It wasn't like the extreme Sega bass fishing stuff.
Yeah.
No.
You picked where you went out and you picked your bait and you sat there and you waited for 5-10 minutes for it to go. And I remember sitting there playing that for some weird reason, eating twiglets.
And now I can never eat twiglets.
And so I played fishing games.
The second phase of early access, which is coming later this year, according to the game director Darren Potter, will introduce Fish AI. We took the decision to only introduce simple practice fishing in the initial release due to the importance of casting to the sport rather than muddy the initial game experience and player feedback with distractions. We wanted to make sure that we had designed casting in an intuitive and engaging way that rewards players' skill.
Good.
What we need to do is add in a module for fly fishing. You guys know fly fishing, don't you?
Yeah. I heard there's an expert on it. What was his name?
Included in the initial release are the tools you'll need to track down, attract, and land your underwater prey.
I'm not funny here, Sean. I don't know. You're doing something about a gecko or a frog or something.
No. Oh, come on. Everyone knows about the fly fishing thing. J.R. Hartley. Come on, everyone knows that one.
You've just alienated everybody outside the UK.
I know what he's doing.
So what? Come on. What was it, Yellow Pages advert?
Yes.
Where the guy was looking for the book Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley.
I don't understand.
You were saying about fly fishing.
I'm talking about the act of using certain materials to prepare a fake bait for.
But you were saying about fly fishing.
The
You said about fly fishing. Shut up, Dan.
activity of fly fishing.
Yeah, and I said if only I knew it. If only we knew an expert on that. What was his name?
Prepared a fake fly, bring in materials and stuff, so as to bait fish, and certain fish like different things, like different bright.
Trials Fusion.
Thank you,
Get
John.
a free update later this year, which will add online multiplayer and double the number of players from 4 to 8.
Wow.
Here's how it will work. Right now,
You
multiplayer.
get 8 friends. You get.
Right now, it puts players into 4 lanes as they race. The problem is that sometimes you're in the back, and it can be harder to. It can be harder than it should be to make out your avatar. The upcoming update will alter online multiplayer so that the player is always the closest to the camera.
Right.
Yes.
So on your screen, you'll always be the one that's closest to the camera.
Synchronous, asymmetrical multiplayer.
Sort of.
Yep.
And then obviously they can support up to 8 players because you will never be 8 away from the screen on your computer.
7 of your friends' progress.
Meanwhile, Shovel Knight.
No answer.
Yes.
Shovel Knight has come to the Nintendo eShop
I thought it was already there.
in
No.
Europe.
Oh.
Long awaited. It's finally arrived.
As an apology of sorts for European players having to wait so long, those who purchase both the Wii U and 3DS version will receive a 33% discount, and 3DS purchases will receive a free Shovel Knight theme.
That's a third off.
It is.
That is a third off.
That's a third off.
That is.
33% off.
That's a third, you know.
It's a third. Give or take.
Roundabout. Almost.
Roughly.
Majora's Mask. Sorry, opening news stories. Majora's Mask is coming to the 3DS.
It is.
Getting the Ocarina of Time treatment, isn't it?
It is. It will also
Not too surprising, really, when you think about it.
It will also be available in a special edition that comes with a sweet pin badge of the mask, a special still case, and a double-sided poster.
Good. Majora's Mask is the second best Zelda ever made, and
What's the first one, by any chance?
it's Link to the Past.
Oh, right. The
Majora's Mask is very, very good.
only Zelda I've ever played was Twilight Princess.
You should play Majora's Mask.
You should
I would if I can get a free stick, if I can get a free DS and things, which I can't. So
You are missing out.
maybe can your TV take old style aerials? If so, I'll lend you my SNES.
I probably not.
Nintendo.
They're a little known company.
Nintendo has announced the official title for Kirby's next adventure, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Sounds like a ridiculously cheerful curse.
It's Kirby. It's Kirby. It's always
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I've watched an entire Let's Play of Kirby's Epic Yarn. I know Kirby.
I can't blame you. I could watch that forever.
The game will feature all-player multiplayer.
Oh, player.
For all-player multiplayer. Like in the single-player, Player 1 will indirectly control Kirby's process by way of the Wii U gamepad's touchscreen, while 3 additional players will take control of Waddle Dee.
Well, all 3 of them will wrestle over Waddle Dee.
I'm assuming 3 Waddle Dees?
Well, it's not like
Like
Waddle Dee,
what?
is it? You move the leg. You move the leg. You.
Head.
In the mode, Waddle Dee can help collect and explore items in the world as well as grab and throw Kirby.
Cool.
It's also been revealed that the game will be compatible with the Amiibos.
Amiibo.
That will allow you to unlock content in the game, but there's no details on how the Amiibo will affect the game.
It'll just do stuff.
They also announced that the game will carry the title. Actually, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is the American title of the game, because apparently curse is too strong a word for the delicate European market.
Oh, it is. I mean, I nearly burst into tears just hearing it.
In Europe, the game will be called Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush.
Oh, no!
Meanwhile, the Amiibos...
Did you just say paintbrush?
Yes, we're getting Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush.
How can they call it that? Don't they know how offensive that is?
Yeah, I mean...
Why couldn't they stick with curse? Or something like nightmare? Or great evil? The rainbow evil? The darkness? The rainbow darkness? That would have worked.
That's just a really dim rainbow.
That's not very nice, and I hope you don't say that in front of its parents, because they're very sensitive about that.
Hyrule Warriors will be featuring Amiibo support.
Amiibo!
During a Nintendo Direct presentation last week, the company explained that the NFC-powered toy will bring to the game a new weapon called the Spinner.
Does it spin?
It does, you know. It's a powerful spinning top that Link can ride into battle.
That don't look fucking ridiculous.
While Nintendo has previously confirmed that the Link Amiibo figure would be supported by Hyrule Warriors, they have said that all Amiibo figures are compatible with Super Smash Bros. Wii U. Will work with the Legend of Zelda spin-off game. If players tap an Amiibo figure onto the NFC sensor, they will be rewarded with a randomly selected material, weapon, or rupee.
Cool.
They've also released a video showing the
spinning doodad.
spinny material.
Sorry.
Last weekend was BlizzCon 2014.
It was, because every single American YouTuber went to it, apparently.
In case you missed that. Bless you. It's also the 10th anniversary of the World of Warcraft.
Is it? I thought it was more than that.
That's what they're saying on the website.
Seems about right, isn't it?
Bless you. Blizzard is premiering a documentary celebrating all things WoW, which is called World of Warcraft Looking for Group. And it will feature developer interviews, behind-the-scenes office stuff, celeb fans, cosplay history, and oodles of Azeroth.
Oodles of poodles!
Red Faction Guerrilla is the latest game to completely shed the Games for Windows Live thing. Nordic Games has announced that they have been testing full Steam support. The publisher has invited players to participate in a public beta of the game's new Steam-based functionality.
Which game is this from?
Red Faction Guerrilla.
Ah, fantastic.
Red Faction Guerrilla, the one where you play as a fry cook on Mars.
The publisher has invited which includes matchmaking and multiplayer support via Steamworks. The public beta will also feature leaderboards, voice chat, and achievements.
Good. I quite enjoyed Guerrilla.
Guerrilla was a good game.
But primarily just by destroying stuff. That's the primary thing anyone did.
Feel like Red Faction, but then Red Faction didn't feel like Red Faction after Red Faction 2.
Scorpion's fatality in Mortal Kombat X is disgusting and amazing.
You could call it disgazing.
I don't really have any more to add to that. I just wanted to
Or a
read that
Mustang.
headline.
A Mustang.
Yeah.
His mom stinks of a Mustang.
Exactly.
The Halo Master Chief Collection's massive Day 1 update has been shrunk to just 15 gigabytes.
Oh, only 15.
Should it be called a Day 2 update? Because some people will, after having to download that Day 1 update, be playing it on the second day.
No. In their continuing efforts to put off our good friend Mr. Jeff Bridges, Ubisoft has confirmed that Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 4 and The Crew will not be coming to Steam in the UK.
Da, da, da. But Jeff will deck 'em.
Jeff is very upset as apparently his PC is just shy of being able to run Assassin's Creed Unity, and he's starting to feel that they have a personal vendetta against him.
The problem that I have is that Uplay is another overlay that runs and consumes resources, and Uplay is very, very hoggish.
They are. It is very.
Anything through it, it seems to rip out lumps and lumps of resources that should be put towards the game.
In the meantime, Ubisoft said, "We've been in discussions with Valve about Assassin's Creed Unity, but for the time being, the game is not available via Steam in the UK. In the meantime, UK customers wishing to purchase the game digitally can do so by visiting the Uplay store, our retail partners, or other digital distributors."
No!
Makes you
The
want
result?
the station went along the lines of,
Well, apparently on Uplay, it'll be $49.99 to buy the game.
Rather steep for a PC game.
PC Games N speculates that the price may be a sticking issue with Steam, as the service typically maxes out their PC prices at $39.99.
yeah, and normally there's a launch deal as well, where if you pre-ordered it, you get it for less. I know that's probably not overseen by Valve, but it does seem like it.
Yeah.
But
It's official! Mojang is now a part of Microsoft.
All hail the masters of Minecraft.
it's
I need some more news. Vamp for a bit. Improv, guys, improv. I said improv, not explode.
Yes, what happens when you put a very small red panda on the spot.
DC superheroes are teaming up with puzzles and dragons.
What now?
Puzzles is in jigsaw puzzles.
Puzzle and Dragons is a mobile game from publisher Gung Ho.
I've heard of it.
Starting today, you can access a new dungeon populated by Superman, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, and others from the DC universe.
What are they doing in a dungeon?
I don't know.
Okay.
No idea, but they're doing something.
They
Something
will
that
appear
we...
as combatants and as recruitable characters that players can win via an in-game rare egg machine.
Oh, I do wonder who will be a person you can be with.
Egg machine. What? Like a timer?
I think like one of those things where you put the coin in and you turn the thing round and you...
Oh, the Gatchables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the international symbol for Gatchable, by the way.
International. Everyone who's like had to mute us for any reason knows exactly what we...
Those guys are talking about Gatchables.
Yes.
Unlike this, which is those 20p machines that spit out a bunch of sweets.
Yeah, those Those are good, but the sweets go everywhere.
That's it.
Exactly. They never thought to like put them in the little gacha balls that fill them with sweets.
You're onto something. He knows.
I know. I can't point at my nose.
So was that all of the news?
No, I've just got to load up some more.
Load faster, computer.
You mean you don't memorize it all?
Nope.
How can you not memorize it all, John? It's only an entire week's worth of news.
My brain has only so much space for some things.
When's the Dragon Age Keep going live?
I think it's already live.
What, so I can download that on my console? And
I think you have to do it on the PC.
Wouldn't know.
Do you have to? By the way, do you have to do that if you're planning to play it on the same console as you've got the game on? Like you've played the previous, like if you're sticking with a previous gen or not?
apparently, from what I've read, and then had to read again, previous game progress is in zero way loaded into the new game.
Right.
So it makes no odds of what you did last time.
You've just got to go through Keep.
Yep. So you say, yeah, I totally, yeah, I saved Legane, and he slept with Morrigan, and then the baby, and so Legane's alive, and Alistair's not Hazerdrome, and a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
And then we all had waffles.
from the
Bungie!
waffle. What was it? The Waffle King.
Waffle.
Waffle
Waffle
House.
Waffle House.
The Waffle House. Waffle.
Bungie. Bungie.
Bungie.
Bungie.
They've gifted a one-of-a-kind rifle in Destiny to a brain surgery patient.
Right, so I can actually get a decent gun if I go through some brain surgery.
Well, apparently his neurologist recommended that he play Destiny as part of his therapy.
I think he was so, in the run-up to it, he was so enthusiastic about the game and looking forward to it, that the neurologist was like, well, maybe you should do that thing that you were looking forward to doing. And
It all began when the patient's wife, Reddit user BKBunny87, wrote about her husband Eric's condition and about how Destiny was helping his recovery. He underwent 7 brain surgeries in 7 months, and they'd removed quite a lot of his grey matter, resulting in severe memory loss. For a while, he didn't know me, and he only sometimes knew who he was, she wrote on Reddit. One thing he did remember was his excitement for Bungie's shoot at Destiny, which he had told his neurologist about. To my extreme surprise, his neurologist told us that the video game has been showing tremendous use in PT, or physical therapy tool, for brain and memory damage. He even brought Destiny up on his computer, and after some speed reading, he was all but jumping at the opportunity the game could pose for someone in my husband's position.
I don't think it's built to help rebuild grey matter, but it's great that
It does that as a side effect, apparently.
If it helps, it helps. It's the thing.
because I don't think there's a specific action in Destiny, etc., that I would associate with growing grey matter. But I think video games in general, or ones that you're interacting with more so, first person, third person, kind of action games. I suppose probably not sports games, stuff where you're... Because Destiny, its single player, did have a story, and all of its missions did have spoken instructions and objectives, and it's very interactive, it's very cinematic, it's probably the better. It had that over Borderlands, didn't it? Borderlands was fun and was funny, but nothing necessarily made sense except for the single player, not for the single player, sorry, except for the core story, which even then didn't really have too much of a thing, whereas Destiny was laid out to be almost like a science fiction TV show.
Yes. Anyway, Bungie caught wind of the heartwarming tale and decided to reward this stalwart player by sending him a one-of-a-kind scout rifle. Deej, the community manager, and the crew at Bungie just sent my husband the exotic Fate of All Fools, a solar primary scout rifle. He is ecstatic.
Good.
Apparently, it was his favourite sort of weapon as well.
Well, should I
He
say?
had been using Vision of Confluence, but he wanted to do some solar damage.
Convenient.
Terraria on the PlayStation 4 is the ultimate console version. It launches this Wednesday on the PlayStation 4 and is billed as the ultimate console version, boasting a world triple the size of the PlayStation 3 game with over 1,000 new items, including 10 new ores, 4 new woods, 31 new bricks, 12 new wings, 29 new Tinker combinations, 50 new paintings, 8 new friendly NPCs, 15 new pets, over 100 new enemies, 4 new bosses, and more.
Is this all content that was in the PC, or...?
Maybe. It doesn't tell me on here.
No.
Well, he's only saying it's the ultimate console version.
Yeah, I would
So-
assume that that's mostly stuff that's actually on the PC.
Didn't the game
Yeah.
launch on the 360, similar to Minecraft? Seems a bit odd that it hasn't made its way over to the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Quite enjoyed it. Obviously, Starbound was much better. It would be great if we could all get back to that, but...
Using feedback from the players of the PlayStation 3 version, a number of changes have been made, including the ability to pinch to zoom in and out using the DualShock 4's touchpad. You will also be able to get a free World Map Companion app for mobile and tablet devices, which will be available for players to access in real time.
Cool.
Crossplay has also been confirmed between the PlayStation 3, 4, and Vita versions, meaning that saves can move between platforms and multiplayer can take place against any player on any PlayStation platform.
Cool.
And furthermore, for a limited time, if you buy it on the PlayStation 4, you get it on the Vita completely free.
Cool, some more. They're very, very, very much a fan of the crossplay thing, aren't they, at the moment?
They certainly seem to be.
Not complaining.
I still
So-
think that ultimately they're working towards making that Vita a PlayStation 4 controller, making the two synonymous. You know, like you had with the Dreamcast, with the little virtual...
The little
You.
screen in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if they could get to a point like that. That's what it feels like they're working towards. Because there are very few Vita exclusive titles, except for these little indie games, that do work on big screen, but they do admittedly work better handheld. And they do work on the go, so maybe that's what they are gunning towards.
BioWare.
They're
BioWare has announced some of the team leads for the upcoming Mass Effect title, including Chris Schlurf,
Sure.
who will be the lead writer on the project. His last project was a little game you might recognize called Halo 4.
Never heard of it.
Never played it.
Schlurf has had to keep his involvement in the project secret since joining the team back in November 2013.
Oh,
Every day is
Something.
It's a good thing he can write.
well, every day my English language descends into madness more and more.
Every day is a revelation, and every day I get to play in a new corner of the universe, he wrote in the official announcement. To be able to look 3 steps ahead to where does this take us, and how does it add to the way we look at the Mass Effect trilogy? You can't ask for a better playground.
Good. Better be awesome. No pressure, Slurf.
I'm sure it's not pronounced Schlurf. I'm
It's
sorry.
probably not, but I'm going to call him Schlurf from now on.
He's quite excited to be playing with Mass Effect, as it gives him a much more human, a much more character-driven story than Halo 4 did.
Well, I suppose that's true.
The November Xbox One update has begun rolling out. As previously announced, the update will allow players to customize the background images for each account's dashboard on the console. Profiles can also be updated with locations and bios, as well as up to 6 game clips or achievements that you would most like to share with the world. And your game clips can now be sent to your linked Twitter account. Ding.
Great.
Marketplace tweaks. This update moves all of the store page's navigation options to the left side of the screen.
My God.
And changes to the highlighted games section means that browsing each category will be easier. Smart Glass users should also notice that the apps have been given their own section in the store on Smart Glass, and that games with gold and deals with gold content can be browsed separately.
Great.
Cool.
Meanwhile, those living in the US, Canada, and the UK should see a trending tab in One Guide, which lists the 20 shows that are the most popular with the general Xbox audience. Those in the US can browse similar popularity data based on Twitter, as well as based on tweets related to the shows being seen in the mini guide.
Don't really use mine for TV.
Me neither.
But there's bound to be a fair few who do.
The 360. Yeah.
I use mine for the 360.
We plugged our 360 into the back of our Xbox One and just used iPlayer through that. And
I've got my Xbox 360 plugged into my Xbox One, plugged into my capture card, captured into my plugged into my telly and my PC.
yeah, seems legit. We were going to get a HDMI splitter and run everything through the back of it.
Another tease from Telltale Games has revealed
Nothing of much importance.
that Game of Thrones Iron from Ice will be 6 episodes long.
That's
And
a whole 6.
and will be premiering soon.
This year.
Soon.
It's going to start this year.
Soon.
This year.
This year, yes.
2 years' time. Okay.
The image shows the book and television series Iron Throne, depicted in what appears to be a painterly style. Which syncs up with a tweet from Job Stauffer, Director of Public Relations, in which he wrote that he was playing 2 games at the office. One looks a lot like my favorite FPS, the other like a living oil painting.
Cool.
And the multiplayer playlists for Halo the Master Chief Edition, Master Chief Collection, have to operate across not only different maps and game modes, but games themselves. That seems to have caused some extra issues for the final release of the game, as the Halo Combat Evolved specific playlists will not be available at launch.
Well, that sucks.
While some other changes to the existing playlists will exclude some games and maps. We are holding on introducing the dedicated Halo CE playlist. Up until this very day, we've been making and are continuing to make investments to ensure that Halo CE's online and network performance is the best it can be within the Halo Master Chief Collection, and we are committed to making additional investments to make that happen, says the official blog post.
Didn't it
The
tie into the PC version of something being in it?
It's going to feature some of the things that were exclusive to the PC version of Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, because the first one didn't have online multiplayer, just had local split.
It had local. Yeah, it was before the days of online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Halo 2 was the first big online multiplayer console game.
Yes.
But Halo 1, obviously, when it was remade, was it Halo 1 that was remade for the 360?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that had online multiplayer. But it was a derivative of 4.
Well, it had LAN-based multiplayer and local-based multiplayer.
What, in Anniversary?
In Halo. In a Halo, you could play it locally.
Oh, yes, I'm talking about Anniversary, sorry, the 360.
Yes.
Yeah.
That had online multiplayer.
But they're having trouble getting that experience into the collection.
Into the collection. It was working with everything.
Okay. Fair enough.
The current Halo CE experience will be playable in custom games as well as the Team Slayer and Big Team Battle playlists, but we're holding out on the dedicated playlist until we are able to provide the best experience possible. Lastly, due to your feedback over the past few weeks, we'll be moving the Halo CE playlist to 2v2 when it launches.
4-player.
4-player. You can read the entire update for an updated list of what will or won't be included in each of the playlists on the Halo Waypoint blog, if that's something that appeals to you. I'll point to a link, but it's like on my other computer, so it's like over there. Anyway, that is the news.
Twas the news.
So what you guys been playing? Who wants to go first? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be someone else? No.
It's easier for you to bloody not move. You could have fake face on you. Fool.
But I'm having to smile inanely like an idiot to make this face. Fine, I played Civ Beyond Earth.
I was gonna talk. Okay. I like that game.
I also like that game. Although I don't like one particular bunch of people in it, because they're annoying me in the one game I've been playing.
Who's that?
The KP. What was it, Cavinthian Protectorate? Because I thought I just have a little game. So I started it on a dwarf map, on a relatively easy, and obviously you can't pick who you're going up against. It's just a random selection.
Indeed.
So they put me against the KP, and I was the Brazil. I don't know what they're called. And what's the thing with the KP is that their big kind of civilized. I don't really know what to call it. Their bonus is that their borders grow quicker. So their cities their outposts grow into cities quicker, and they grow quicker than any other civ, technically. And so with me, where I spawned near a load of floatstone, which is obviously the material that you primarily use for purity units. I don't think there's any other units from any other affiliation.
It does crop up. It does crop up in stuff.
There's a few other bits that do crop, like there's certain buildings you can't build without it.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it's the big units for purity require floatstone more than anything else. And so I thought, well, since I've got so much floatstone nearby, I'll go purity. And of course, she started right next to a load of Firaxite, which means she went supremacy. The problem is the purity victory condition is, what is it? Is it Emancipation or Promised Land? I can't remember.
Promised Land.
Promised Land. So you build a teleportation gate between Earth and this planet, and you have to keep sending like Earthling settlers in to settle little villages. The problem is she's taking up most of the map.
Crush her.
I mean, it's literally it's almost a half and half split between us, but she's got that little bit more. So a load of my cities have been founded in this like kind of small area, and a load of her cities have been founded because you can't settle these within 3 tiles of a city.
Exactly. So it's a very hard victory to win on a small map.
Yeah, so I may have to give up on that and start on a slightly larger map.
Just fight her. Just fight
But
her. For her cities and
I mean, I'm pretty confident I could crush her, because obviously I've got higher military strength anyway, being Brazil.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I have got like my ultimate units, so I've got enough of an army to be able to wipe her out. But I've been trying desperately to not go that route for so long, and I've got friends with the aliens, so I've got. I suppose technically I could do that, and then the aliens would offer me some sort of protection, I suppose.
Like from that picture that I saw, you've kind of got a shield there.
Yeah. Well, it's just that, obviously, I presume you already know that if you have an alien nest in your boundaries, in one of your city boundaries, they will eventually become peaceful to you.
Yeah.
So, literally, all the aliens on that planet don't attack me. They only attack her, and as well as that, she's been attacking them a lot as well. So they're really aggroing against her.
Yeah, if she's supremacy as well, then I mean, both supremacy and purity are kind of against the aliens, but.
Yeah. But I've kind of gone the weird way of being for the aliens, but yeah. But yeah, so I've got to try and crush her, which is going to be interesting, but I think I could do it.
But you can keep calling through those human settlers. You can call through one.
Yeah, every turn you can call them through. It's just the fact of getting them in.
Settled and just quickly embark them all, find a little continent and shove them all down. The second the turn finishes with 20 of them housed and homed, you win regardless. So.
Yeah, but I just need to try and do that. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying it. I mean, I don't know why I'm enjoying it and getting more into it than I have any other Civ game.
Sci-fi.
It's possibly just the sci-fi sheen to it that's making me enjoy it more.
History is completely circular and obtuse.
Yeah, so it's a web rather than a tree.
I don't really like. I do and I don't, but most Civ games are based around science, and it boils down to anything science. If you get technology enemy, doesn't matter how many more cities they've got than you. If you're enough technologies ahead of them, you beat them still. You know.
Yeah.
They have to have severely overwhelming odds if they're inferior technology-wise.
Yeah.
This obviously does have that. It's just hidden in the web, and so you've got to.
It is a little bit more complicated to try and go through the web to find out what you need.
That's it. And if you're trying to maximum your purity very quickly to get the better units, then you're still having to literally stretch here, there, everywhere in order to get.
Yeah, you're having to spread yourself out quite a lot.
And then similarly, you'll want to get the technology ones, so you're getting them quicker, and you'll want to get the health ones, for instance. I don't know if health was a problem for you.
Health has actually been the one thing that hasn't been my problem at all. It's been primarily not gold, energy. Health, I've been. I mean, in the picture I shared, I think I was at that point. I was at level 16 health, and when I last played it, I was up to 20.
Yeah, if you expand and build too many cities, your health dips. It's essentially happiness from the last couple of Civ games.
Yeah.
energy, I was doing just fine. I mean, I noticed you had a city that was creating 100 plus something from one of your achievements.
Yeah.
Energy, I'm guessing.
But yeah, I've kind of got the energy situation sorted out now.
Yeah.
But that's another point of if I go to war with the KP, my energy gain is going to plummet because I've got a lot of trade routes with them, which there aren't that many. Well, there are quite a few stations around, but they're not giving me a lot of money.
No, they don't. You have to literally set up a massive internal web and all of the nearby stations if you want to.
Yeah.
AI.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go against her because she's just.
Bonuses.
And another thing that really annoyed me with it, I don't know what she must have researched something or gotten something, but she's like pumped out like 7 wonders in one match, and I've managed to get like 3.
Sometimes they just gear themselves towards that, but the first match I played of this, I played very similar to how I used to play Civ 5 and Civ 4 before that, where I just crammed everything towards production and then built every single building in every single town, and you end up with no money and pretty much burning out, and you end up in a kind of dark age, which is what I normally end, which is in this it's when you run out of health, and in the previous ones it's when your happiness dips, and all of a sudden everything goes rubbish, and you have about 200 years that are literally like the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages, where everything's backwards and it's just a constant grind to try and get back into productivity. And it's only recently that I've learned how to kind of yo-yo around that, and you do just specialize. You build a city for production, you build a city for energy, and if you've got 2 or 3 cities that are pumping out X amount of extra energy, you just use that extra energy to buy, you know, the buildings and the other
Yeah,
ones.
that's what I was doing in the end. I was because I had such an abundance of energy in the end.
But if
I
you
was just
wonders, have a look down that. Is it virtues?
there is what I already got the one that gives me bonus production towards wonders, but it didn't help squat. It was,
Maybe she got there first.
it's really bloody irritating as well. Because there's at least 2 of them that she's picked me at the post to.
You get
So I was in the middle of building it, and then suddenly she's managed to finish it beforehand. And yeah, another thing I've found rather difficult to maintain is a spy network. The covert operations I'm finding. I don't know what it is. It's just that it seems the intrigue in her cities goes down quicker than mine, which I don't know if that's something else she's researched or.
I didn't have any problem keeping my spies alive, but yeah, I didn't get to do any fighting.
Oh no, I've never gotten a spy killed. It's just for some reason she's able to. By the time I've completed one operation in her city, this intrigue's gone almost down to 0 again, which is really weird. So I really want to plant a dirty bomb. That's what I want to do.
If you build up through the lower ones, I think that increases the intrigue exponentially. Or if you don't do anything in the city, the intrigue just increases over time. But yeah, if she's built certain wonders or certain buildings, then that intrigue isn't going to really climb that high.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing, and it's once again because there's the technology web instead. So you could, if you want, dedicate yourself to trying to quickly get to the outer web through grinding technology.
Yeah.
In which case, you can be building wonders that most people are building 300 turns in 150, 160 turns. It's something I haven't even, put time to working on a kind of preferred way through that web yet. I'm pretty much just doing it through replay.
That's what because I've been watching a few, like I said, like I think I said it last week, so you didn't hear it. But I've been watching a lot of videos about it. So I've been watching a particular YouTuber that's like who kind of played it the way that I presume pretty much the way that everyone would play it is you see what you have at the start and then you kind of try and choose where you're going to go from there. So like I say, I've had a load of float stones, so I went for purity. I wanted to go harmony just to see what it was like, but I didn't have enough xenomass near me. So
I just wanted to win purity, so I went purity.
And so I had the float stone, so I went the purity, and then I just went through everything that gave me purity,
Yeah.
and judged how many turns it would take, and judged what I would need, and built buildings depending upon that. And so, yeah, I'm still learning because obviously this is my first real foray into Civ, but yeah, I'm actually I don't know if it's just the tutorial's a little bit more, maybe a little bit more clear in this one, but even though technically there is no tutorial, I don't know why I'm just finding it a little bit clearer than I'm finding it a bit clearer than the than Civ 5 did it. I don't know what it is, but so I'm actually understanding that you need production to build things faster, you need science to research things faster, you need culture to grow faster and things like that. But
Yeah, I preferred 5. 5 to Beyond Earth. I'm enjoying Beyond Earth because I like sci-fi, and I really enjoyed Alpha Centauri, but Civ 5 felt a lot more welcoming than this. This is very daunting, if not just. But I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I said Alden, I just went, oh, purity. And so I used.
Sean, did you just take a drink?
yes. Why?
It looks rather interesting on your
Yeah, I know it would.
squirrel face.
Shut your face.
It rather seems my camera hasn't turned itself back on again.
It does appear that way, John.
This is a bit of an annoyance.
So God
Oh,
only
well, I'm a
knows.
logo now.
You're a logo now. But anyway, yeah, so I've been playing Purity. I didn't want to play Purity, but I wanted to play Thingy, but I didn't get the land didn't have enough CMS.
But you can work towards that. That is something you can repopulate. I think any starting location, you can still win any.
You can, but it's easier if you have an abundance of a particular product.
But they're still beneficial to you, even if you go another route. They still.
Oh yeah, I still like as we keep mentioning this picture, is that I've taken a few levels in Supremacy as well, just to get the bonuses that they give you.
Yeah, of course.
So, and even then, the guy I was primarily watching the videos of, always recommends getting at least one level in Purity, because then it makes all of your roads free. Is it right? No, is it that, or is it something else? What does the first level of Purity give you?
Can't remember.
Can't remember. But there's one. It's one of them that he recommends you get because it's really beneficial no matter what way you go. And there's plenty of other ones that it is beneficial. And even then, it's going like having a few levels in Harmony is quite good, because then you get like your workers are able to clear miasma, rather than having to constantly build miasmic repulsors, which is expensive and time consuming. But anyway, I'm enjoying it, and I would play it lots more, except my computer is now starting to die, which is really, really helpful considering no money and stuff. Ding! Next.
Dan, do you want to take next?
Why have you got no face?
I'm not got a face anymore.
I'm not got a face.
Bear with me, I'm going to try turning the camera back on again.
Have you turned it off and on again?
Yes, several times now, and it's decided not to work. I think it's got stuck turning itself back on again, and it won't go off. It's fine. People could still hear me. They don't need to see me.
I have been playing Dark Dreams Don't Die, which is by Swery, who also made Deadly Premonition. This has also got a guy in it called Forrest Kaysen, but then he's been in all of Swery's games. And it's really good. It's very quirky. It was made for the Kinect, or to use the Kinect initially, but obviously I'm playing it without the Kinect on the Xbox One. And it's just really good. It's really not obscure. It's really odd and once again quirky, like Deadly Premonition was. You're a guy who's whose girlfriend has died, and you can't remember any of that day. You were shot, and you have this ability to enter certain relics and go to the location of where that relic, got its relicness, as it were. And so you travel back in time to certain things. You're trying to find out about a drug called True Blood, uh,
I think there's a TV show about that.
Real Blood. Real Blood.
Real blood.
We're trying to find out about a drug called Real Blood, which was apparently pumped into your girlfriend's body before she died, and then she was drained of actual blood as well. And it's just a little bit weird and cool and arcadey and that kind of quirky Japanesey. So there's kind of mini games here and there. There's mini events where you're just talking to other characters. You have a conversation. One of the mini quests is with talking to Forrest about clam chowder, and
Chowder!
that's it. And you go around and you're pieces, and when certain things appear, if you hold down certain buttons, it brings up little observations about them. And all in all, it's just really, really interesting. Odd. All the characters are weird, and it's a weird world, and it's great. I really enjoyed it. But so far, not that far into it, and it looks like they're doing a second series from the fact they called it Series 1, which always bodes well.
That does imply a second series.
It would.
I really hope.
Yeah.
It's on deal at the minute on Xbox One as well. Everyone should buy it. Everyone.
I've been playing a game that you got for free a little while back with the Xbox One, if you had gold.
I did not get it for free because I was not forward thinking enough.
I didn't get it either because I don't have an Xbox One, so screw you guys.
But if you got a 360, you could go on to Xbox.com and download it.
But I didn't know I could do that, so I couldn't.
Well, I did, but I didn't bother.
Well, for anybody out there who hasn't bought an Xbox One but does have Xbox Gold, if you go onto Xbox.com, you can go buy the games on the website, and then when you get an Xbox One, you've got a whole trove of games to download.
Woo!
Including this month's Volgar the Viking and Chariot.
Whoa!
Median. Anyway, I've been playing Max and the Curse of Brotherhood, which is it's Labyrinth. Storyline of Labyrinth, basically. You wish that your brother didn't exist anymore, and some monsters come and kidnap him, and you then realize, oh, wait a minute, I really like my brother, and also my parents are going to be really annoyed that I've let him be kidnapped by monsters. I should probably go do something about that.
Has it got David Bowie in it?
Not as of yet.
I've brought you a gift. It's a crystal, nothing more. But if you turn it this way and look into it, it'll show you your dreams. But this is not an ordinary gift. No, it's not a gift for an ordinary girl who takes care of a screaming baby. Do you want it?
Anyway.
Never seen the film. What are you talking about, John?
Basically, you chase after your brother, and after several levels of giant sprawling deserts with rocks and swinging ropes and things like that, you find the magic guy who's up a tree.
Not the magic guy up a tree.
It's stunning. And he imbues the only weapon you've brought with you, which happens to be a mostly empty magic marker. He imbues it with his soul, and unfortunately this causes the tree and the rock that the tree is upon to collapse.
Well, that's a bit of a...
It's an annoyance, to say the least.
It is. It sounds it.
And basically, you can then use this magical marker to draw in... at the start, you can draw in stone platforms. You draw them up out of the ground at specific points. And then later on, I've unlocked the first upgrade to the magic marker, which allows me to draw in vines.
What, 5-second videos?
Yes.
Just throw them at your enemies and make them...
Actually, it's more branches. It allows you to draw in branches that sort of, they can sag under their own weight. So you've got to kind of position them carefully if you're going to make a long one.
That's what she said.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
You're welcome, John.
But you can also detach them from the base and push them round, so at certain points you have to draw square brick ones. At another point I had to draw a circular one that would roll down a hill and provide me with a further platform to stand upon on a spiky pit.
Yay for spiky pits.
And the game is incredibly graphically
Lots of
detailed and pretty.
Just constant swearing and chopping people's heads off, and
The visuals of the game are very cool. It looks awesome. There is an entire level of the first area where you're being chased by a giant monster. And so if you slow down at all, he catches you. If you mess up a sequence, he catches you. And he's sort of the same size as one of the Colossuses from Shadow of the Colossus.
Oof.
He's a pretty big chap.
cool.
So it's a pretty awesome chase sequence. And now I have to defeat Mustachio, the evil wizard.
Not Mustachio.
Yes,
Does he have a beard?
he does.
Really, not a moustache.
No, he has kind of a long beard.
I think that's just, false advertising, really.
Deceptive, really.
Surname Video.
Well, unfortunately, he's old. He's very old, this wizard, and he's growing near the end of his life, and so needs a new body.
Happens to look like your brothers.
And conveniently, your brothers, as you've just offered your brother up, and now I've got to get to him before Mustachio can take him over and use him to subject the land to another however long of darkness.
A core blimey long time of darkness.
And I gotta say, I played it a bit. I played it a bit. And do you ever get to that point in a game where you get to a puzzle and you think you work out the answer to it, but you just can't pull off the timing to it?
Yeah.
And then, do you ever then go back to that game and think, well, okay, I've not played it for a little while. I'll go back to that game. I think I know what I'm doing. Wait a minute, why was I trying to do that? That's completely the wrong answer.
No.
I did that with this. One of the bits in the level where you get chased by the giant, horrible monster was teaching you how to rope, like swing across.
How do I rope?
How to use ropes in the game to swing around and such like. And I was going through this bit where you were swinging across holes in the ground, and I got to this one where there was a swingy rope and then a rope bridge.
Right.
And it seemed perfectly sensible that you had to run to it, swing on the rope enough that you got into range to jump to the rope bridge.
Of course.
But I couldn't swing high enough before Big and Horrible got up close behind me and the rope platform
Oh,
off, and moided me.
Well, that sucks, John.
And so I did this 5 or 6 times and decided to quit out of the game for a while. And then I went back to it last week and decided, well, no, I'm gonna play more of this game. This is silly. I've got to be able to get. And then I realized that you just had to climb the rope.
oh man.
Well, that was silly of you, John.
So I got past that bit, and now I've got to say this is a really, really, really good game. And if you like classic 2D platformers, you won't go far wrong with this one, because it's a classic 2D platformer.
Cool.
Great.
I think Sarah just noticed that you're Octodad now, Sean.
I am indeed Octodad. I mean, what do you mean, John? I'm a normal family man.
I'm sorry, I meant to say that you are a dad.
I am a normal human. Right?
Yes.
I've still yet to play that game.
I really should play that game.
You should, especially since the first one you can get for free. There's no excuse.
Well, I really want to do a let's play in it, so I really want to do that at some point. I really want to do that.
You've not lived until you've had to clean up a kitchen by just literally kind of just like smashing everything. Blah, 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 blah.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything that we have to talk about this week. Does anybody have anything that they want to close on? I realise that Sean is, at the moment, trying very hard to pull faces that will make Octodad's face work.
He's got a very weird face, no matter how actively you talk.
Left to right, what happens? It's not that convincing.
Once the tracking starts again, my bloopy head bloops.
Just trying to get your tendrils or moustache or yeah, there we are. Perfect.
Yeah, if you smile, literally, if you smile, that happens. And if you so to do that, you have to kind of do a weird kind of half smile. It's a real workout for the face.
The concentration on the face must have been quite intense as you closed both eyes as well. I think that's pretty much what we close on, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say let's finish here. We're going to be back next week, more than likely with another one of these live podcasts. The website is coming back very soon. I'm excited to see it. It's going to look shiny and new. I've seen pictures.
Granted, pointed at them and gone, ooh.
Granted, those pictures have been just like drawn in pen in 5 seconds. So I'm sure the website will look even better than those. But
Yeah.
shiny, shiny, shiny. So shiny. Bye, guys.
Hopefully not too shiny, otherwise people will get blinded by it.
You might need sunglasses for a little while until you adjust, but farewell.
Adios.
Toodles!